let's talk about that midfield. Oh dear. Andy from Let's Talk FPL did not have Haaland in his first draft, but in his updated draft, he does. Along with that, he still managed to squeeze in a Watkins and Isak up top, and Trent and Gvardiol at the back, along with good bench cover. So actually, let's not be let's talk, let's be let's clap, as that's pretty damn good. But unfortunately, FPL isn't just for 1 week, and this team has less flexibility than current R9. There is absolutely no way of getting to the likes of Salah, Palmer, Saka, Foden or Bruno with that midfield, because he's basically on life support. And he will have to sell Haaland if he wants to get any close to any of them with his transfers, or make any sort of decent transfers later on. So instead of let's clap, this team right here might get clapped in the long run. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 for me. Next, for an FPL rate, it's FPL Mate. Dan did have Haaland in his first draft, and he still has Haaland in his updated draft too. But this time, he's also squeezed in a Mo Salah and Gvardiol. Damn Daniel. To accommodate that, he's mostly got the cheap defense and got the budget gems in Nkunku and Chris Wood too, who could do very, very well. If this was my draft, I think I'd have a bit of Wood too, because it's getting me excited, if you know what I mean. Hey. Overall, this team is structured very nicely, considering you've got the robot up top and the Salah, so it's a very, very sexy draft. I was going to give it a 9, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for being a fake Arsenal fan and not having any of their players. What are you doing? Next is the FPL Wizard, FPL Harry, who did have Haaland in his first draft, but has since got rid of him. Is that going to end up being one big boy? Unlucky. But instead, he now has the midfield of Salah, Saka and Foden, Watkins and Isak up top, Gvardiol and Saliba in defence, then the great gems in Nkunku, Chris Wood, Rodgers and co sprinkled in there too, making him literally have a bit of everything. Now this one right here may actually be the sexiest FPL draft I've ever seen. And I think it's going to be every single other YouTuber by a lot. Do you guys really understand how good this draft is? Like, wow. Now, you might be wondering why I think that. And the reason I think that is because it's literally my draft. It's very, very similar to my team with literally 1 or 2 differences. So no bias at all, this team is amazing. It's got to be a 9 out of 10 for me, because it's not 10, because, you know, there's 1 or 2 changes. We'll get it there, like my team. It is actually the most similar to my team, but I can't really claim he's copying me, because instead of being second in the world for the last 4 years, he'd be second last in the world if he copied me. Unlucky! Second last here, though, it's FPL Raptor. Ross the Boss did not have Haaland in his first draft, and he is still stuck with that with no Haaland here. But this time, he has got rid of all of his Man United players that he did have that I roasted for him last time. Finally, he's free of the Red Devil. You're welcome. He's the first to have a bigger at the back than prime Kim Kardashian with Trent, Gvardiol and Saliba, 3 premium defenders. But despite that, he's still got the Salah, Saka, Palmer midfield, Isak up top and the sexy gems in Eze and Wood. And he's even risking it for a biscuit with Rodgers in here to give him that Villa attacking cover too. Now, I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, oh yes, daddy. There must be a thing with bald managers being the best, because it just tends to happen. We got Pep, we got Raptor, we got... not Ten Hag, never mind. But this right here could be one of the best drafts I've ever seen. And if he had some Man City attack in there, it could almost be perfect. Excellent, some would say. 8 out of 10 for me. Finally, we have the one and only FPL Focal, who also included me in his very own rating YouTuber draft, so be sure to check that video out as well, because it was amazing. But check it out after this video, thanks. His first draft was also one of my favourites, but right here, he has made as much as 8 changes from that team. So personally, I also change. I no longer like his team. I like it. He's dropped down the likes of Palmer to Bruno, dropped Watkins down to Havertz, swapped João Pedro for Hudson-Odoi, but has upgraded his defence to now include Trent. Personally, I think most of those are actually downgrades and quite big downgrades. And he has said he is focusing a little bit more on the Game Week 1 fixtures to get off to a good start. But also, what does a good start mean if it's harder for you moving forward and you don't have as good players? Overall, though, it's still solid, but a solid 6 out of 10 for me. And that was all 5 YouTubers' drafts rated. I rated their first draft, and this was all of their latest drafts. To summarise, we have 2 drafts with Haaland, 3 without, the same as the YouTubers' first drafts, but one of them got rid of Haaland and one of them brought him in. We have 4 with Salah, 1 without, the same as their first draft, 3 with Saka, 2 without, the same again, 2 with Watkins, 3 without, the same again as their first drafts, 3 with Trent, 2 without, so 1 more than before. All 5 have Isak again, and now all 5 have Gvardiol, which previously wasn't the case. I think only a couple of them had him. Every single latest and updated draft we've looked at here has had quite a few changes from their first drafts, and it does seem like a lot of people are getting a bit twitchy about their defense and spending more of their upgrades there. In comparison though, everyone still has a very different draft, which again is going to reiterate the point of FPL being a spicy one this year. Everyone's going to play it different, everyone's going to have a different team, and it's going to be amazing. Make sure to check out all of these amazing content creators after this video, as all of their FPL videos are amazing. Let me know which YouTubers' drafts you prefer. That's going to be all. Thanks for watching, and also remember,
don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.